So if you go into a listing that has a home snap set up, okay, you can go two ways to look at the listing. You can either go view the listing or you can set up the action. So if you go to actions, and there's, see these buttons down here, guys? They're supposed to put a home snap button somewhere under here. It's just not there yet, but they will have a home snap button so you can just click, so you don't have to go up here to actions. But anyway, go to actions, click on schedule a showing. It'll pull up the listing. Now, once you're in home snap, you don't have to go back to every listing. If you know the list, you can just type in the address, search for it, and schedule a showing directly there. You don't have to go back and forth. So let's say I want to schedule a showing for tomorrow at 9:15, tour in person, first showing, second showing, whatever it is, and you just say test. Okay. Next. You can name it whatever you want to name it and hit save. That's going to send a message now over to Michelle saying, hey, Michelle, I tried to schedule a showing. Will you approve it? Okay. So now Michelle can actually approve it, and then I'll get a notification back that it got approved.
Or Jem will.
Or Jem will, because for some reason it's got our team number in it. So Jem's getting all my messages. Thanks, Jem. All right. But it does say first showing Michelle was requested. Okay. All right. And then you can edit your profile, etc. Home snap showings. This is important because what I can do is I can go back and I can say, here's my listings, but what am I showing? Here's my itineraries. Okay. So I tried to schedule that. I've got one home snap showing and they got approved.
So I just approved it. Did anyone get it?
It would say pending here if it wasn't approved.
Okay. I'm wondering if Jem got it though again.
I just got it. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So that is, it's going to be a work in progress, guys. It does take a little bit of time to get, used to the Home Snap app. But it's something that you guys are going to be using a lot more. Okay. If you pay extra, it's called Home Pro Plus. That's expensive. So you don't have to do that. That is an optional service. The Home Snap Pro is free. The Home Snap Pro Plus is not. Okay. That's a completely separate thing. I would say don't do the Home Snap Pro Plus unless you want to, but from what I hear, people have had some problems up here in Hawaii with it. So if you can, just go ahead and get your Home Snap account set up. You just log in with the same email address as in the MLS. It's going to ask you to select an MLS once you get logged in. If it does not ask you to select an MLS, you are using the wrong email. Okay. And the MLS should be Realtor Association of Maui. It should already find your account and it should pair it, if you will, once you type in your email address. Okay. If you don't get that pairing, you're using the wrong email. And then after that, it's automatically going to pull your listings through and you can set up your profile. Any questions on that? All right, yay. Okay, so last week we had talked a little bit about interest rates, how they were at 6.75%. We showed you the monthly mortgage interest rate, and I said it's going to fluctuate because they just made the announcement. So we pulled up the national rate today and it's at 6.136. So it dropped 0.6 since last week. It's fluctuating all over the place, as you can see here, guys. So look at this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is I think the blue is the 30-year fixed, if I recall. Yeah, the blue is the 30-year fixed. Okay, so again, if you have a client that's going to move in 5 years, they might want to go with a 5-year arm, or I mean a 7-year arm, just to cover them, because that's 5.82. So the 5-year arm doesn't make sense because it's actually more than the 30-year fixed. But they could do a 7-year or 10-year arm if they want to. Arms are going to be very big. Does everybody know what an arm is?
No.
I forgot. I learned it in my course, but I haven't.
Okay. So an arm, and this is, I know we're going to have some mortgage people coming in, etc. An arm is considered an adjustable rate mortgage. Okay. So what that means when it says 5-year arm or 5-6 arm, 7-6 arm, 10-6 arm, 10-year, it's going to be fixed for 10 years. Okay. After 10 years, it's going to adjust every 6 months. That's what the 10/6 means. If it was a 10/1, it would mean that it would adjust. I've seen it's 10/1 or 10/12. So either one every year or every 12 months, etc. So this is a 10-year ARM. Every 6 months, it'll pull the new rate. What are adjustable rate mortgages? So let's say the federal funds rate is at, right now it's at 3%, right? I think it's at 3%. The federal funds rate is at 3%. What bank is willing to loan, they're willing to loan at 6.136 on a 30-year fix. So they're going to take a 3.13% profit, okay, on that interest. Now remember, is the bank taking a profit when interest rates are at 6.136 and inflation is at 8.3 as of today? They just announced inflation numbers of 8.3. So they're taking a loss technically, if you look at the valuation of money. Okay, so a 10-year ARM, it's going to adjust every 6 months. And an ARM basically has an index rate, which would be 3% as of today, plus how much more the bank is allowed to charge. And it's going to be in the mortgage. So let's say in the mortgage, it says that we charge 4% more. It can't go over 4% more or 6% more, even 10% more than the funds rate. You tend to have a bottom and a top, a cap and a top. So an ARM is not as crazy as some people think, because let's say that they max the interest rate at 10%. The adjustable rate mortgage can increase to higher than 10%, and it won't go below 2%, right? Or 3%. So when it does adjust, let's say in 10 years, the interest rates are at 8%. Okay. It could go up to 8%, but it won't go over to, or it could go up, let's say they're at 11, it could go up to 10%. It won't go over your top tier. Okay. So that's your adjustable rate mortgage. They used to be very riskier. They've kind of tightened up the terms. I would highly recommend it if somebody knows they're leaving in 7 years or 8 years. If they say, oh, I'm leaving in 11, it might be too risky. We are going to see much, much higher interest rates this year. I'm expecting it to get to 10. So I'm going to do the exercise real quick. So if you guys Google, okay, mortgage calculator. I'm going to show you guys how to do this so you can do this with your clients, because there's a lot of clients out there that are on the fence. Okay. So let's say they're at $1 million. So $1 million purchase price. Okay. And I'm just going to go just for abilities. You don't want to include taxes. So tax button is off. Let's say it's at 6%. And your clients are like, wow, well, it used to be at 3.5%. I'm losing so much money. Okay, it's $1 million house. I'm going to wait for the property to drop a whole bunch in value, because I think it's going to come down, which the way we're trending, prices are still going to go up for a little bit more. And then they might flatline. I don't see them making a detour down anytime soon, because we have too much demand still. But let's say we get to the 10%. So now they're paying $3,000 more a month. $3,000 more per month. Okay. So $3,000 more per month. It's like, oh, well, some people can afford it, but a lot of people can't. So $3,000 more per month is an extra $36,000 per year, which over the life of the loan, if they own it for 30 years, is an extra $1,080,000. So if they buy now with a 6% interest rate, they'll save $1,080,000. If they wait till the end of the year at 10%, they'll spend an extra $1,080,000 on interest.
Wow.
So for all those people that have clients that are saying, I want to wait till the end of the year to buy because I think prices are going to drop $100,000 on my $1 million home. Yeah, well, you're at a $900,000 loss. You may have had the prices come down 100,000, but you're gonna spend an extra $1 million in interest.
But that's it. That's us pretending we know where the interest is going to go. Are we?
Well,
allowed
the Fed's got to keep increasing interest rates until they counter inflation, and they already talked about another 0.5 point at the next Fed meeting.
Okay.
Some people are saying they need to go up a full point. Everyone seems to be talking that a half is the minimum. Some people said
The
they need to raise
World
them
Bank
quarters.
wants them at 9% to be, ahead of that inflation like what
Yeah,
you're
to
talking
counter
about.
inflation, you've got to get interest rates over the inflation rate. All right, so unless inflation comes down, okay, and remember, when that 30-year fixed is just a straight 20% down home loan. So if somebody's doing a condotel, they're a vacation rental or a second home, you're gonna be up
Maria,
a quarter, half a
You're
point
still
more.
on Home Snap, your image.
Sorry. All right, so this 6.136% is a 30-year fixed. So if you think, okay, somebody's doing a condotel, you're half a point higher usually. So you're at 6.6. And then on top of that, if they're a foreign investor, it's going to be higher. If they have any dings to their credit report, foreign investor, but let's say they're only going to put 5% down. Oh, look at that. 5% down actually dropped the interest rate. But they're going to increase the price because of PMI. That is weird. Isn't that weird? You're going to pay a higher interest rate with 20% down than even 10% down? That is wonky. Something's off. 25% down's okay, but 20% down's not. That is strange. Let me see if I can up the price. Ooh, $1 million jumbo, 5.3. Look at that. So 5.3 is not so bad. So jumbo loans are looking good. Let's see. Stay under jumbo. $500,000 loan, not so much. Isn't that funny how some of these numbers work? Anyway, you're not a mortgage broker. You shouldn't be quoting rates. Okay, but you can say the rates range from 5.5% to 6.5%, but they need to talk to their lender, because what the lender's going to do is say, hey, oh, you've got a high DTI, debt to income ratio. So if you have a high DTI, your interest rate you might not be able to qualify, or it might be a little higher because you're higher risk to the bank. So what has to happen, and no one, and I can't stress this hard enough, no one should be getting into your car. I'm sorry, Jyoti said HomeSnap runs ads in Oahu for you, so it doesn't make sense. Yeah, but no one should be getting into your car unless they're pre-approved recently. Okay, meaning in the last week. If they got pre-approved 3 months ago, most likely they don't qualify for the same price point. Okay, they need to get pre-approved before you put them in your car, or you're just wasting your time. And here's a little quick story. I referred a client of mine that was a really good client, and I referred it to a newer agent that was just getting started. And I've always told people you have to get them pre-approved before. I mean, that it's non-negotiable. People say, I don't want to do a buyer's agent agreement. Okay, I'll negotiate with you that a little bit, but I'm not going to negotiate at all on pre-approvals or proof of funds. You don't put them in your car. Anyway, so I gave this referral to this person. She took her up country. The person was doing a loan that was like 5% down or something small. She didn't have a lot of money to put down, but she thought the person thought she could go up to $1 million. So of course she went out and she saw this house. It was like $980,000. She said, perfect. So she goes back to the bank because she wanted to make an offer. There were multiple offers. Goes back to the bank to get pre-approved. Well, she can only afford $860. Again, she doesn't have any money to get from anybody else. And this was her dream home. The person was so upset, she fired us both. She's like, you referred me to this agent. This agent should have made sure I was pre-approved ahead of time. Agent didn't ask her for a pre-approval ahead of time. So shame on her. So the agent didn't ask her for pre-approval. Now her heart's broken. She can't find anything. She ended up moving off the island a few months later because she was so upset. Don't do it. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your clients, and you can break their heart. Right? So just don't do it. Hard lesson learned for all involved. Any questions on that? All right. Does everybody know, and speak up now or forever hold your peace, how to handle the sea level rise. Sierra
I have
says
a
yes.
question.
Yes.
It seemed in the meeting today that they were saying we only needed to include the map,
No.
the entire website page, all the.
Michelle, you were in the meeting. What did they say about the whole page?
All right, so you can do the map, but you should share the website if you're not gonna,
It doesn't work that way.
print everything.
It doesn't work that way
Why?
because the website doesn't have a URL after you do your search. Oh, so you're just sharing the website blank?
What I do, yeah, because that's all the disclosure part. So you want to share the link and then the map with them.
Yeah, but the link is not a direct link. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
But they could enter their property on there.
They would have to then go back and retype in their property address, right?
no, because here, go to the sea level. I think we're just not talking about the same thing.
What's the website? Do you remember? What's it start with?
No, it's really
I-
weird.
I got it. Let me see.
I should have, here it is. No, that's Sea Level Park. Just give me the first few letters. It'll
It's
pop up.
Rise Viewer, PACIOOS .Hawaii.
That's right. It's really weird.
PACI. Is this it?
Yeah. Hold on.
No,
No, that's not it.
Hold on, let me look it up again.
All right, hang on. I'll just pull it up.
that's the
It's
boat.
PACIOOS .Hawaii.edu /shoreline. You know what? I'll just copy it and put it in the chat.
That works.
Duh. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So,
there we go. So wait, that doesn't look right either, unless they have a new picture. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna, if you give them this, scroll down.
here, let me just do this. 145 North Kihei. Okay, so see, I've got the 145 North Kihei.
Yeah.
But if I copy the URL, it doesn't stick.
Okay, no, but that's not what I'm saying. So what you're doing is you're going to run this through and you're going to download that map, just like a flood map, right? You're going to make a PDF of it. So you're going to send them the PDF and then you're going to also send them the link, because now they just scroll down and that's where all the information is.
Send them what link?
Just the link that you have up right now.
Because the information on there is not customized, right? It's just.
No, it's not
No,
customized. It's the
Michelle,
same
look,
info.
Michelle, if I grab the URL,
Yes, I
I
understand what
open
you're
up
saying.
another window, it's
Mhm.
just a blank. It's not filled in.
I know, because you don't have to, because you've done the map for them, you've sent them that. Now you just scroll down, all the information's there no matter what.
It's generic. It's the same information on every page.
Yes.
The map is the only thing that's customizable.
Thank you for
Oh my
translating,
God.
Jyoti. So the bottom information is, like she's saying, it's generic. It's the same each and every time. So
Okay,
you don't, so you can give them the link if they want additional information, but you just have to provide that map as far as.
so what happens when the information on this page changes?
The map is the same.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's,
but the bottom information can change too, guys, right? So when we're doing a disclosure or condo docs, we don't send links, because when you do, if anything in the information changes, okay? So let's say down here, they say they change this chart, right? Let's say this
Mhm.
chart changes from 3.2 and 2100 to 2040. Just worst case scenario. I didn't provide the correct information, because the information that I can't prove I provided the correct information, because now it moved up. So now they can say, oh, you didn't tell me in 2040 it was going to change. Or even worse, it goes the other direction to 2500. So I don't like providing links because I don't have a solid state of information that I can show that I gave them. At a
Well,
static
then
fixed time.
the other, so when you copy that map, you're only gonna get that map.
Correct.
So how are you gonna copy the rest of that information then? I guess you could just do it once and then share that file over and over again.
No, you can just print this to a PDF, the whole page, and it saves off as a PDF. That's what I was doing before,
Okay. It's just
right?
a really big file, I guess.
It's a big file, which is why you can either decrease the size of the PDF or you can put it in a shared drive. But at least I have a solid fixed state. Does that make sense? Of what I've provided. Because if any of
Yes.
this information changes down below, I don't want to get sued on something that changed that I was unaware of.
Mhm.
I want to have documented proof I gave them this specific information. That's my personal belief. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. What are your thoughts?
I think that you're covered as long as you gave them the map, because the information that they're supposed to have is disclosed in the seller's real property. So if the information changes, they're gonna have to change it on that as well.
The information on the seller's property, all it states is, are you in a flood hazard zone that in the 3.2 level sea rise? Yes or no? That's
No, I
it.
thought there's part of the thing where it actually talks about it, I thought.
You go to
You
it.
have
So-
it right there if you want to click on it. I'll let everybody know too that that agent provided the writable version. I see
Oh
it
yeah,
in
guys, the seller real property disclosure writable is now in Ohana Tribe forms. I asked them to put it in working docs, but if you have a client that wants to have the seller real property disclosure, it's now under Ohana Tribe, EXP forms. And it is, I put it in here. You guys can see my screen.
It's definitely a gray area what you're talking about, Maria, but as far as
I'm
I
always err on the side that I never get a lawsuit. That's my personal
Exactly.
opinion, is that I don't want to get sued for anything. And, you know, I did just having an attorney. So here's the writable one. So if you download it, you can actually edit it. Okay, so seller real property disclosure 5.22 version, writable. It's out there on the tribe files right now. Hopefully they upload it to working docs, but if not, you guys all have access to it now.
So the changes on that form, if you bring that form up, so there was a change in the box there. You have to,
Hang on, let me open it up.
the sea level rise
Okay, so
exposure
the sea level
area.
rise is up here.
And you're gonna
Yes or
have to
no?
provide the link to the seller because they're not gonna know that. And you can help them with the box part.
Okay, so let me look for C. Can I search for C?
And then it's somewhere in the middle of the document that they give further disclosure.
It would probably be around, are you in a tsunami evacuation zone? That type of stuff.
And it's also in the purchase contract.
Yeah. The purchase contract the purchase contract, by the way, guys, we have now new templates. I uploaded them into zip forms. You guys have those as well. So if you want to download the new ones, you can. I split them because they were too big into 2 files, one for houses and land and one for condos. So you'll have to import both of those. There were no changes to the commercial. All right. I think
The
that's it.
special clauses thing didn't really seem to be working.
I'll show you how to import special clauses. All right. Sorry, guys, I have 2 sick kids at home today. I don't see it.
I don't either, but I
Tsunami.
know it's in there.
Caroline certificates, special management.
There it is, number 13. Does the property lie within the sea level rise exposure areas by the Hawaii climate change mitigation?
Yeah, see, that's just a yes, no. That doesn't give you any
Yeah.
information. So me personally, I would rather have at least documented. Maybe I just send them the map and then print everything off as a separate PDF and, you know,
That's
send
what
them a
I would
link to
do.
that or something. But I personally, from my personal opinion, I would like to err on the side of caution, especially right now when everybody's litigious and looking to sue for anything. So I don't want to be in trouble for anything. So, any questions on that?
At that point, if you marked yes on number 13, then you have to give further explanation. And so you could give the website and or provide the PDF.
Yeah, but
But like
again, if
you
that
said,
detail below changes, which is
changes.
99% chance of changing,
Yeah,
because I guarantee you they're gonna go through and change some of that description. I guarantee it. Government websites, they do change that stuff. As soon as it changes, if you didn't provide it, they can say you didn't, you didn't provide me the details, and it says below that the flood's gonna happen in 2040, when on the website, it looked like it was 2100. Then you're like,
well, to me, it's sort of like the condo, when you answer yes to things and then you write see condo docs. So to me, if you say
yes, but again,
see,
on the condo docs, you're not sending a link. On the condo docs, you're sending a static document.
true,
Does that make sense? It's a
Yeah.
static document. I'm just saying it needs to be static. I don't want people changing documentation after I've had a sign off, because
and
then
that's
you
true
open
because,
yourself up for a lawsuit.
and that's why they don't put the websites on the forms anymore, because what you're saying. So I would agree with you 100%.
Well, on the Big Island, on their condo docs, they don't send condo docs. They actually send links saying, go here for the condo docs. And again, if the condo docs change, you don't have any static forms. So technically on the Big Island, their agent should be going out there and downloading all the docs, or someone should be saving them off as a PDF, making sure they're complete, and then sending them to the client, just in case somebody changes them later. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? I know there's construction going on at my house in the background.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay,
So what do you recommend? So.
I'm gonna say print the whole thing to a PDF and send them the whole PDF.
and you
I would
can
say
email
just
that-
do it
PDF.
once and have it in your files.
No way.
Well,
They-
you have to
Same.
look like,
There's no way I would do it once and have it in my files, because what happens when 2 years from now it changes, or 6 months from now it changes? It needs to be at the time
True.
they're in escrow. The document needs to be accurate at the time they are in escrow. That's
Yeah.
what matters. Okay? Or when the document is delivered, whatever day it was delivered, that's when it needs to be accurate. If you download something now and 6 months from now, they completely change it, it's now an inaccurate document.
true.
Okay? You don't want, definitely don't do that. So what I will do is I'll do the map. Let's see. So here,
I don't know,
again,
They need
this,
to do more clarification. It's
well,
still
you know, and here's the
a
thing is most
mess.
people won't even think further on this. And it's, you know, it's like I have a mold test of a property. I'm gonna actually print off the full document. And that way, if somebody actually gets mold later on, they can't come back and blame me. Okay, so here I would say 3.2, right? I've got
Which
my
you have to.
address. I've got to change it to satellite version. You know,
They don't care which map you use. It
oh, they
just
don't.
has
I
to
thought it
have-
had to be satellite. All right, so
No.
3.2.
Just has to be 3.2.
Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna zoom in. This is the proper procedure, guys. So after they fill out the disclosure, actually, I would give this to them before they fill out the disclosure. That's not 145 North. Oh, I guess it is, okay. Where is my satellite? Okay, I like the satellite version better because you can actually see the houses. Okay, and see exactly what is gonna flood. All right, so here's my zoom, and then I'm gonna right click. Print. Save as PDF. I'm gonna let it load so you guys can see this. Okay, and I'll click Save as PDF. Stick it in my download folder. So then if I go out here to my download folder, it's 19 meg. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that. So what I would do then is I would actually upload that into a PDF compressor, which will drop it down to about 4 meg, and I can just email it. I think there's an Adobe one, yeah. Compress PDFs online for free. So Adobe offers a free compressor. So I would go select the file. I know this is a lot of steps, guys. Say open. If I go to medium, it's gonna be 12 meg. Low. So I'm gonna do high compression. So to drop it down to 6 meg, which is emailable. As long as it's under 10 meg, it's usually, well, almost everybody can take under 10 meg. Some people can take under 15 meg. Okay, so I'm gonna say compress.
Well, if you're gonna do that, then I would have grabbed the rest of the information. Do you think it would have still
I
been too
grabbed
big?
I grabbed all the information.
Oh, you did? Okay, I thought you just did the math.
I grabbed the
Sorry.
whole page. Okay, I got
Okay.
it down to 1.57 meg. So now I'm gonna
Cool.
download it. And I'll email this one. So this is 1.57 meg. See, it's got the whole thing.
Nice. Now, the
Okay.
training video does not show you that, so
The
they only
training video
show,
does not show you the compression. The compression, I highly recommend if you're gonna do the compression, you use Adobe. Okay, because there's other compression sites out here. I just don't know if any of them have viruses. And Adobe is a trusted site. Okay,
what I meant
so-
was they don't tell you about capturing that other information at all. They just show you the map capture.
again, I'd always rather provide too much information than not enough, especially when it comes to disclosures. Disclosures, again, are the #1 reason why people get sued in real estate.
Yeah, I'm just letting people
So-
know that the training video, it won't be there though, that information.
This is my last video, hopefully, my last training on this. I do recommend people do the satellite image if they can. Or is it this the one that's got the satellite image? All right, the satellite image I like better because you actually see what buildings are there. It's gonna be clear. You don't have to zoom in that much if you want to, maybe one more out. But I do recommend you use the satellite image. You do the PDF compressor is probably the easiest way to go instead of, you could stick it on a drive, but my fear of you sticking it on your drive is you have to continue paying for your drive and it's gonna get big over time. Okay, so I would say just compress it, send in an email so you have an audit trail showing you did send it. Okay, and if you don't get it from the listing side and you're representing a buyer's agent, that you make sure that you send it even if they don't give it to you. Okay, just so you're covered.
For the TCs, do they want them to file this with the rest of the SRPD, or do you think they'll do a separate PUCA eventually for it?
What do you
Like
mean?
the flood map?
This
You know how
should go with the seller real property disclosure, the flood map. It would make even more sense, guys, if after you download this, you just upload it into Associated Docs, just like you do your seller real property disclosure if you're doing that practice. So in your listing, again, if you've never added a listing, this is kind of where you should be putting stuff. In your listing, you have Associated Docs. Okay.
We don't on this one.
Oh, well, we should upload the seller real property disclosure here. Okay, so
Yeah,
that should get uploaded.
I need to,
So
have
the
them
seller real
updated.
property disclosure should be added here. Okay, the flood map, the permits, you can upload everything here. If you upload it all here, okay, then when you go into escrow under the listing, you can just say, hey, please download the seller real property disclosure. So they submit it to you when they submit the purchase contract. The advantages of doing that, guys, is a protection of your seller so that they've received the seller real property disclosure already. So you know how a lot of people allow for like 5 days to get the seller real property disclosure and then 15 days to review it, right? That's ridiculous because that means they have 20 days to back out of, the buyer has 20 days now to back out of an escrow. If you give them the seller real property disclosure at the time they go into purchase contract, so there's no receipt time frame, and allow for maybe 10 to 12 days for a review, okay, you'll have that review completed within the time frame of the inspection. So you don't have people backing out of escrow after the inspection is done. You don't want to have deals fall apart. And right now we are seeing so many people get shaky knees over the interest rates. Some people were waiting to lock because they thought interest rates would drop or whatever. Okay, they weren't being reasonable. And people are getting deals canceled left and right. A lot of stuff's fallen out of escrow. So you don't want to be one of those people. You got to keep your escrows tight. If you keep your escrows tight, you're going to make more money. And the goal in this is to still have a business and make money. Okay. And I want you guys to make as much money as possible. So I'm just telling you ways I would do it. It's not a requirement. You are independent contractors. You can run your business. I just think it's a smarter way to go. Okay. Any questions on that? All right. Any new listings that anyone wants to talk about? I know we've got several new listings that came up country. Anybody have any new listings? Hey, Richard, how you doing? You're muted. You're muted, Richard. Can't hear you. All right. Anyway, Richard, you may have the same problem I have. I have an old HomeSnap account in with Keller Williams. You may have to go through and have HomeSnap get rid of it because it's got my phone number. So when you set up
Okay,
your account,
I'll
might
check
have-
it out. To answer your question, I'm doing fine, except I can't get out and do much, so I just sit in front of my computer.
well, there's lots of new training, so lots of new stuff happening. There were some changes to cash deals that happened. I would say go into Workplace and see all the new changes. This is orientation week, guys. So Michael, Brent, if you guys want to get into any of the orientation things, you guys should all join the Ohana Tribe Facebook group, okay? That's not in Workplace, but I try to keep everybody as up to date as possible. Okay, so
And
If
I'd
you go
also like to welcome Ashley Miller.
she on here?
She's new to our tribe. Ashley Miller, she's here at the meeting.
Oh, where is she? I don't see her.
Hi.
Where are you at, Ashley? Oh,
It
there you
says
are. Hi, Ashley.
Welcome.
Hi,
Hi.
Ashley. Okay, so are you new to real estate as well or new to EXP?
Just new to everything.
New to everything. Okay,
New to
so
everything.
Ashley, you guys should all have access to, if you don't have access to the EXP world, let's get you access. This week is orientation week. So every day they're having a different training for new agents. Okay, so today or Monday from 9 to 11, they had orientation. Tuesday, they're doing SkySlope training, which is already gone. Wednesday, we had our state meeting, which was really good. And then tomorrow is purchase contract training for 2 hours. And then Friday is listing agreement training. It's in the boardroom. Okay, so you have to have access to the world in order to get into these trainings. Okay,
And I believe they posted the orientation to Workplace. So if you
yeah, so
missed
if
it,
you missed it, what you do is you go into exprealty.workplace.com. All right, and go to Hawaii State Group. Everybody here should be a member of Hawaii State Group. And you're not automatically a member. You actually have to subscribe. Okay, so under Hawaii State Group, you can see the state meeting that got posted. At the seller real property disclosure, we've got that there. Let me see if I can just search for orientation.
it's just a couple more down, I think.
That's the join us for orientation. I don't see that
There it
it's
is,
here.
right there. You just scrolled, go up. Right there, new T recordings, right there.
Okay,
Was
so
that
here's your
for
orientation
yesterday?
right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to do the orientation, if you want to see the SkySlope training, that's all in here. So just make sure you search. It makes it easier if you do searches in here. And everybody should be a member of this because that's where you keep up to date. Okay, the next thing is the VIX schedule. I know Haley signs for a lot of people. I sign for a lot of people, but you can also go to the state. They're actually streamlined really well. In order to get a contract signed, you're going to send it to hi.contracts@exprealty.net. And then this is who is the broker on. When you send a contract to that email address, guys, I've had people say, oh, my contract got lost, nobody signed it. You need to text the agent or the broker, because if you don't text the broker, they don't realize that you sent them a contract to sign or a listing to sign. Okay, it's not just send emails, because most people aren't on their emails 24/7, like salivating over that next email that comes through. Okay, so make sure you text them after you've sent it into highcontractsexprealty.net. You don't have to send it to the broker directly, okay, or your listing directly, but you can send it here and they're all supervising those, okay? They're actually getting really good and really fast at getting back to people on contracts. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I have one quick question and I should know the answer. Where is the best place to check like how many CE credits I've accumulated? Because I know then the year is going to come quick and I don't know to see if I
Your
met my quota.
PV.
Yeah,
My
it's
what?
my PBL,
My PBL?
my PBL. Hang on, but there's a link to it off of the MLS. So let me go back to, I got this open.
And I can't remember how many credits we need to
30.
maintain. license. 30 every 2 years.
Is it 30 or is it 20? No, it's
It's
20.
18. Isn't it 8 or 20 or 18?
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think
20.
it's 20.
I'm pretty sure it's 20.
It's
Okay.
20. Yeah, it's 20. All I
And
do
the
is I
new
go,
agents don't have to do it.
yeah, if you're a
Just
brand new
put a link.
agent, you don't have to do it.
I just put a link in the,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, but if you're on your Paragon and those first pages, there's a link to it here. It's not here, it's on the navigation pages, which I can never get to from here.
isn't that weird?
I wish I could get back to it, but I can't get back to those.
You
Once
have
I'm
to
in,
go
I
to
just
the
gotta close the,
original Login.
yeah, it's on the
Yeah, what
original
about
login. It says
tab?
my PBL.
What about that tab right up there where your cursor, or that's my cursor, that where it says Paragon login, the second tab over, or not tab, but bookmark.
Here.
I
up.
can share my screen, Maria, if you want. I have it up.
Okay, yeah, you share your screen.
So here it is. Can people see it?
Hawaii.gov.
Yep.
Huh.
Right
so-
here, my
So
CE
my CE
status.
status. So remember this down here, guys, is huge resources because you can do all your disclosures right from that page. Yeah, so you
So
have
you've
to
got
log
your
in.
sea level, you've got your flood map.
My
Tab.
CE status, does that take you right to the government website? Which I'm like,
It
what
takes you to the
email?
government website to check your status.
What email? Oh, passwords, okay.
So this
You
is
should
it.
have your
And
sign on.
this is also where you get your wall license and your pocket card as well. And
Yeah, if you need a copy of any of that stuff. Okay.
thanks, Travis. Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, you guys have a successful week. And I hope to see you guys all soon. We are gonna have a pool party soon. I apologize. I had to cancel because I got sick kids, but we will have a pool party in a next few weeks, okay?
Maria,
Yes,
I was wondering if you could real quick on the MLS, just show us how you did, how you get a percentage for price reductions. So we
okay,
could
so
show
it's
that
kind
to
of
our
slow.
client.
It's not clean, but I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like it automatically generates for you.
That's
It's one
what I
of
was
these
thinking.
stats that I do on my own.
Oh, okay.
Because there's this, our MLS does not report, it doesn't have good reporting, just so you know.
Yeah.
So I was doing Central Maui, I believe.
you're not sharing.
Oh, first I'm not. Alright, share screen.
Sorry, one last question. So I need 6 more CEs. What's the best place to find out? Any classes you recommend, or is there a place to
Well,
find
do
out?
you
which-
need core A and core B, or is it electives?
I need 6 cores.
So core A and core B, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Probably RAM.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Is there anywhere cheaper? Does anybody know than RAM?
Sometimes CE Shop has them for less, but I like to support RAM.
Yeah. Chemo's a good instructor. He'll scare you straight.
Yeah, he's great. Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, can you see my screen?
No,
Okay, hang on.
I can
we
see
just see like a search.
your MLS, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm showing.
Oh.
So you can do this for any area. You could do it for a neighborhood.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Okay. I think before I was doing it for Kahului, but I'm just we'll go look and we'll just pull the live stats now. Okay. So this is 1 million to 2 million, which is a hot property value. Looks like we've had a couple new ones, 3 new ones come on since I did this last. So what you do is you just see the original price and the list price. So the original price is what it went into originally, list price is what it is now. All right,
Mhm.
so you count, okay, 1. These are the ones that have had price adjustments, 1, 2. So you don't want to do it on a huge area. I did it for Upcountry, they've got 30%, but we got 1, 2, 3, and you could export this and do a formula if you wanted to, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 properties out of 17. Okay, so if you just go and divide 9 divided by 17, which is 9. As of right now, it's 53%. So last
Right.
week it was higher, and some of those probably went into escrow, but as of right now, 53% of the properties listed in Central Maui have had a price reduction. Okay,
Right.
the average days on market is actually up here, which is nice. That's 43 days is the average days on market. And these are actives. So by the time you actually get it closed, you can think it's probably 45 to 60 days out. So we've got 100 days average on market. All right, so we're switching from a seller's market to more of a normal market. And then once it gets to 6 months, it will be a buyer's market. So this used to be much lower on the actives. This used to be like 14 days, 16 days. So we've
Mhm.
gone up quite a bit on average days on markets. Okay, so now we're at 53%. Last week we're at 70. It's going to fluctuate on a weekly basis. So it's not like you can claim, but you can do it for Kihei too. Kihei's not as much. I think Kihei was only 25%, if I recall last week. But it just depends on, but even 53% is pretty high, guys. So in the same price point in Kihei, we've got just one property, right? So it's even less now. But Kihei is a hotter market, so they don't have to do price drops. But when you have a market, a specific area starting to slow down, you'll see those numbers go up.
All right, and there's no way to do a percentage, I mean, because I had to do this before and it seemed very tedious, and I took all of the subject properties and I figured out what percentage of price reductions they were, and then did an average for them, just so that they could figure out what they wanted to offer or whatever. So you're saying we'd have to build like a spreadsheet or something with formula in it to figure all that out?
No. You could if you're just doing price, average price reduction.
Mhm.
So the high would be 1.75. Now, what I would do is I'd export this out, I'd sum up these, and I'd divide one by the other. That's a quick, faster thing. Then I was just doing what's the percentage of properties that have had a price reduction, which is a different statistic than what you're talking about. You're saying,
Yeah.
what is the average price reduction properties have had? Which,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a huge stat. What would be probably more valuable is to look at solds and see what is the list price to sold price ratio.
Yeah, because I thought you said that it was 8%.
On average, they've had an 8% price reduction, and that was over in, but again, I don't have those. If I want to keep track of these stats, again, I've got to have it static because every week it's going to change. That was over in, Wailuku. This is my Wailuku one. No, this is my Upcountry one. So over in Central